All
Yeah.
right. What's up? What's up?
What's happening?
In the flesh.
Yes.
All right. Welcome, everybody. We are just taking care of some minor details here, making sure everything is. I was on here looking at some of the new little features they got on here, man. They got a lot of new stuff. What's up? You having problem with your ear, man? Your ears?
I usually hear something around
You,
this
you,
time.
your ears? Your ears?
I'm
Your ears?
attuned and attenuated to be able to respond quickly,
You
like
see, but the
Pavlov.
thing is, man, you're getting real impatient, man. We got to have an intervention because
What is new? How long have you known
getting
me?
real,
Always
but
been impatient.
it's getting worse though. It's getting like you know,
Was it supposed to get better?
it's getting. I thought when you age, you're supposed to slow down. You go in the opposite direction, man. You speeding up.
Remember, my dad said he don't need no new friends. That's what my dad said.
You speeding up, man. You speeding up. Speeding up, man. So I'm trying to slow you down a little bit. Just
bro.
it's gonna be all right. All right, everybody. Welcome to Local Musicians.
XP.
See, I was trying to get you, man. I was trying to throw you. I was trying to divert your attention so I could get you.
My name is not Darryl Reeves, bro. I'm on
That was perfect. Daryl gonna be back, man. You better watch it.
I'm not worried, bro. He's still
Daryl-
gonna miss it.
Daryl will be back with us next week. He is it is his son's, is it number second 2-year-old? It's 2 years old today, I think so.
Oh wow.
That's what he said. Yeah. So
Okay,
happy birthday to the young Reeves, and
looking forward to you coming back, Daryl. I miss you, bro.
Yeah, man. So we can get back to it.
Yeah.
But thanks everybody for joining us. If you are on whatever platform you are on, we're leaving all platforms up. I guess so. I don't know if it makes a difference at all. So if you're on YouTube, or if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube, please subscribe, set your notification bell so that you know when we do go live. We got some new releases coming at you from the feedback sessions. Yeah. So everything is chopped up, everything is ready to go, titled, and we're just going to start releasing all of the student performances, as well as the commentary from me and my man over here. There's some funny moments with that for sure. And but we really had a great time. We had a little extended feedback session today. I didn't get the notice, but my my faithful student, venerable student, John Lamatina, shows up for his lesson today, and my, we're getting settled in. My Ring camera goes off, and I'm like, man, who is?
Surprise!
And but John's like, oh, he says, is that Tyrone? I was like, Tyrone? He's like, no, it's not Tyrone. Go outside. Guess who's in my carport? It's Tyrone Jackson. I'm like, wait a second, man. You like, I told you I was coming to crash his lesson. So he came, crashed the lesson, and man, I really appreciate you coming over and doing that, because that was actually a really cool thing to do, where John got some extended time with you, and with going over some of the tunes, and we're on to something. We got to kind of keep that. Yeah. I think we're on to something, because that definitely gives them a better idea of what they're really up against when they go on stage. So that was really cool, man. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, I need to I'm bring my student next time. One of the students that I know need that kind of that time with the rhythm section, because you just get thrown into it, right? I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't remember the first time you just get baptized in it, man.
Well, sometimes, I mean, yeah, because you there's only so much you can teach, but I think there are things that a student can take from a session like that, because they're getting live bullets, right? It's not like we're just going over like some technique things. They're getting like live bullets of having to perform whatever the music is in the moment, which, man, every rep helps. I mean, we keep about that, but every
But
rep.
you can sit back in real time and be assessing the situation while it's going on too, without having a,
It's a lot easier, don't you think? It's a lot easier to diagnose problem because you might see things that I don't. I'm looking at things from a different perspective. Just like if your student, was on, I could see things from a drummer's perspective that you're not even like thinking about because you're not thinking like that. So that was what was really cool was, you made some poignant things that I think I wasn't even on my radar. So I thought that was really cool.
Right.
So yeah, so we got some feedback session studio or videos coming.
Yeah.
And we'll start dropping those in the next day or two. So look out for those. Let's get some housekeeping out of the way. We got some events coming up. First, August 10th.
Nice.
We got myself and Frankie Quinones are going to be doing an introduction to Latin rhythms drum clinic. If you don't know who Frankie's a great hand percussionist from Puerto Rico, first call cat here in the Southeast and beyond. A wealth of knowledge, great dude, one of the funniest cats you'll ever meet. And but a great player. And so we are going to do this live Latin rhythms clinic down at our new home. It looks like, man, Academy Theater in Hayfield. I am very impressed by this place. I really like it. And we got some more stuff coming up, but that's going to be August 10th from 6:30 to 8:30. And we got some special guests. Special guest opening the show will be the Aya Drummers.
Yes.
My man Kina Boto, my brother, and his sons are going to be opening the show and just play for a few minutes and let you see what they're about. And that's going to be a fantastic experience as well. And then we also have a couple of other special guests that we aren't going to release right now, but tickets are $20. You can get those tickets if Brian puts up the flyer for that show. The QR code is on the flyer. And
shout out to Falguzzi.
And yeah, so let's see here.
There we go.
Yeah, so we're gonna blow that up here for you in a second. Yeah, we gotta find it. Hold on, man. Give him a chance.
Come on.
There you go. All right. So the QR code is there, and you can also reach out to myself or Academy Theater, and there is a direct link to tickets. Tickets are $20, $15 for students, and I think this is the first of probably a 3-part thing we're going to do on the Latin rhythm. So we're going to do an introduction, then we're going to do another one with more intermediate stuff, and then we're going to do an advanced thing as well. So mark your calendars for that, and that's for all musicians, not just drummers. Really, we want all musicians so you guys can really learn what these rhythms are about, what they're called, where they come from, all that great information. So
Abaqua, is that gonna be in there?
No, Abaqua ain't gonna be on this one. No, we're not Abaqua yet. Abaqua will be in the third one. That's the third one.
Right, you gotta build up to it.
Oh, we got to build up to that, So. All right, and then in September we are back with another feedback session. We don't have our flyer for that one yet, but we do have the announcement. We are going to do the second installment of feedback sessions, and this is going to be September 14th, 6:30 to 8:30, same time frame. And we got some new blood. We're gonna have some new blood in there for you. And have we decided, man? Are we gonna do Are we gonna have a vocalist maybe at this one? I don't know. Maybe
we can talk to our esteemed guests and see if.
Oh,
she would like to volunteer somebody.
Man, she does now. She's too busy for that, man. She got wine to drink and riding in the back of cars.
Right in the back and get,
she ain't got time.
Chauffeured and stuff,
But so we'll see. I think we may want to do the vocal thing as a separate thing. So we'll see. But we may have one vocals. Yeah, we'll see. Because we got some new blood coming, man. That want
some new blood, yeah.
That wanna be. So we'll have some carryover, but we're definitely gonna have some new guys that want to play. One of the cats that came out last night at the session, Zach, or he's ready. He's wide open, man. The sax player. Is that what's his name? Is that maybe I got the wrong name.
Last night?
With the dreads.
Oh, that's Cameron.
Cameron?
With
that's his name?
That came with Aiden?
Yeah, that's Cameron.
Yeah, that's Cameron. Yeah.
Too many Zachs, man. I was thinking his name was Zach. My bad. So so he wants some. He's like, but he might be up at Berkeley or somewhere. Isn't he at Berkeley?
Manhattan.
He's at Manhattan, so he might not be around. So we'll see. But
he comes down
anyway.
So yeah, maybe.
Yeah. All right. So feedback session, second installment. That'll be Sunday, September 14th, and 6:30 to 8:30, man. So I think that's all of that kind of stuff. We do want to send our condolences out to the family, Malcolm Jamal Warner. Yeah. I mean, that's a big part of my child. Actually,
grew up with the cat, man.
I mean, and he was entrenched here. A lot of mutual friends. I never had the opportunity to meet him, but we just want to send condolences out to him and his family and all.
Most people
all parties that are contributing.
Bass player and a spoken word artist too. So
that's right.
It may just know him as the actor,
Right, exactly. So we want to send out, condolences there, and then also to Ozzy Osbourne, an absolute legend.
I didn't know that.
He passed today, man. That was my first concert, man. It was Ozzy Osbourne, 1980.
That makes sense.
It does make sense. Sigwell was there too, but
don't get him started.
He was there. 1983 or 84. I can't remember. It was 83 or 84. Yep. And the Rockford
bite the head off a bat at that concert.
Nah, he didn't do that. That was actually a great fabricated story.
Right.
So, but yeah, man. So there's a lot I could say on that but I'm gonna hold my tongue. But I am not a fan of his wife. I'll tell you that much right now.
Okay.
At all, man. She, man. So, but anyway, sending our condolences. Yeah, man. I don't want to. It's not the time or place, bro.
Right.
I'll do I'll do a little post about that though, and but other than that, man, I think we just gonna kind of get to it.
You're not gonna even set this one up.
Well, I'm gonna set it up, but I'm gonna see if this will work. I had an idea. So we are going to talk to our friend and our boss, man, one of our bosses. We met. She probably hates that.
She loves
it, but she loves it.
Loves it, bro.
Originally from
us, her colleagues, but she's
originally from Portland, Oregon, right?
No, St. Louis.
Or St. Louis, that's right, by way of Portland, Oregon, because she knows Chalden and some of the other cats from that area. That's right. By way of St. Louis, by way of Portland, though. She spent a lot of time in Portland. And she came here, I can't remember the year, but we met at Twain's.
Really?
John Chalden brought her out to, I think it was Twain's, man.
Wow.
That far, yep. And we hit it off.
I can't
remember. I can't remember, but we hit it off, started talking, and we're shortly working after that. And that's when, and then I brought you in and Craig and maybe Trey. I can't remember. We did a session. So, but and it's been a great relationship, and we're currently on her new record that we are going to talk a lot about. That's the music that you're hearing right now. Without further ado, we're going to bring in, one more thing. This stream is sponsored by Chubby's Barbecue. They found out that she was going to be on the show. They called me personally. They said, man, can we sponsor, I would love to sponsor this show. I said, man, no problem. We would love to have
like to run
Chubby's
through it.
And
like to run through it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You know. Without further ado, our sister, Karla Harris. What's up? Hey.
Hey, nice hat. Nice hat.
Yeah, somebody gave it to me. I'm not sure who.
Thanks for the Chubby's reference there. That was
it's sponsored by Chubby's Barbecue. This particular show.
I don't think that they have much money to sponsor.
So here's the telltale sign, right? When you guys pulled up to Chubby's Barbecue, how many people were in the bar? Were in the parking lot?
We should have known, because it was, first of all, it was right before they were going to close, and there was maybe one person there. So we were getting the end of the day food. You know, there was nobody in the parking lot, nobody in line,
smoke,
no smoke, smoking, no. But we were desperate. I mean, we were in that little town, and there was not a lot to choose from.
Oh, that's so funny. All right, so
that was a nice walk down memory lane, by the way, from when I moved here, Chris.
Yes.
I didn't remember Twain's. I didn't remember meeting you at Twain's. I thought
that was it, though, right? Wasn't that it?
It probably was, because that would have been 2012. And then, but I remember, I think our first thing that we did together was at Steve's Live Music. I think that was our first gig.
Really?
It was the
but no, I don't think that was the first one. I think Steve's was the first one, because somebody put that together. Somebody put that the musicianship together, and then
that one. Was I on?
Yeah, you were. Oh yeah,
really?
You were.
Really?
Yep. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Man, shout out to that place. Was it the one on Roswell Road?
Yeah.
You
don't remember that, huh? Oh yeah, I do.
I don't know.
Yeah, that was the first one. And then after that, it was Churchill.
Right, I remember the
Velvet Note
and Whisper Room, and then the Velvet Note. Wow. Yeah,
we had recorded. Didn't we do some recording before that, or was that after that?
Oh, that was after the Velvet Note, because she had done the live stream. She had done the video recording of Stand Back, and
that's right.
And then we went into the studio to do a studio version of that, and it just, it didn't work out well enough. But but it was all for the good, you know. And then I ran off the reservation for a while, and then I came back.
Well, you know, I mean, there was some other things. I think, you know, you were going back and forth to work in Portland, though, right? With the Latin group a little bit, right? The Latin
I was
band.
back there. I was back there a couple times a year, you know, for a while. But it was mostly that I started to work on the Brubeck project.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, with Ted Howe.
With Ted, that's right. That's right. Shout out to Ted. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, tell us. I mean, we're just talking like there's nobody else here except for us. I know what we're talking about, but
which is great.
Yeah, but tell us a little bit about, you know, where you're from and your early recollection on just, you know, was there music in the house? How did you get into wanting to become a professional singer?
I had no professional musicians in my family. I had no example that way at all. I just had my parents' album stack. And so my dad liked to sing, but he just sang around the house while he was working. And, you know, we'd wake up on Saturday morning and he'd be singing like folk songs, you know, silly little things, just silly little things. But apparently my mother told me that when I was a toddler, I was singing. It was just something I always did. She'd have me in the grocery cart and I'd be singing nursery rhymes, you know, in the store aisles. And she was pushing it. Later on, one of my chores was to cut grass. We had a nice half-acre lawn, and my sister and I swapped weeks, and we'd be cutting grass all through the summer. And I'd be singing songs that I had transcribed and learned from my mother and father's albums while I was mowing the lawn. And my neighbors remembered just a few years ago, one of my neighbors said, I can remember hearing you sing over the lawnmower. That was really good practice for, you know, belting dynamic singing. Right. So yeah, but I would that was what I loved to do on Saturday afternoons. I would sit there with those albums and I would transcribe the lyrics, and I would pretend that I was on shows. I would be in the living room. We had like an entry foyer that was raised. We had a sunken living room, you know, and that was my stage. My cousin would come over sometimes and we'd put on shows. And I joined choir when I was in 3rd grade. I was in choir all through school. I started taking piano lessons when I was in junior high school. And then I started joining bands when I was in junior high and high school. And then I started getting paid to sing when I was in college. And that's the short little, you know, short version of the story. But I started singing with bands. I think I was in 9th grade when I started singing with bands. Garage rock bands.
I met your high school teacher.
Yeah.
She was very nice. So was that a surreal moment for her to come and hear you at the gig? And what did you guys talk about after that moment? Like she said she knew that you were going to be singing just because I think it was a theater play or something that you guys were doing, and she wanted you to sing, and the rest was history. Can you tell us about that a little bit?
Yeah, she was, so Mrs. Blaylock, Joyce Blaylock, she started at our grade school when I was in 3rd grade, and she started a choir. And in 5th grade, every spring, of course, we'd have Christmas concerts, and then every spring they would do a big concert. And in my 5th grade year, she asked me to sing a solo during the spring concert. And it was The Way We Were. So I was 10 years old singing The Way We Were.
Of course it was. Of course it was The Way We Were.
Yeah,
of course it was. Yeah.
And she played the piano, and it was you know, all I can tell you is that later on, somebody told me that there was a teacher, 2nd grade teacher there, Mrs. Minnie, who was I think she was going through a divorce or something. And they said that they saw her kind of with tears in her eyes listening to the song. And I remember feeling like, oh my gosh, I made Mrs. Minnie cry. I felt really bad. And then I thought, wow, that's the power of music. Yeah. And I think I was kind of hooked.
Wow. And you've been knocking people off their feet to this day.
But of course, it's so funny to think of, you know, 10-year-old singing The Way We Were, but whatever. But Mrs. Blaylock, it was really at that concert that we did in St. Louis last month, right, at a club called Blue Strawberry. I hadn't sung in St. Louis. I did a fundraiser there a few years ago, but I hadn't really been there doing a concert of my own since 2005. So it was a real homecoming. And we were down in the green room before the show started, and the owner brought down a dozen roses. And he said, somebody gave these to give to you. And I looked at it, and there was a scroll. And it said on the scroll, do you remember the way we were? Do you remember? And she named all my solos, Sweet Little Jesus Boy, Desperado. I can't remember the other one. And she said, I do. And she said, I'm looking forward to hearing you. And it said Joyce Blaylock. And I was just like, oh my goodness, she came in on a walker. She has a lot of health issues, right, but she's still just as lovely as can be.
But she didn't know that you had prepared already, anticipated that you were going to do The Way We Were.
Yes, I did not. I mean, I knew that she was going to be there because I knew the manifest, you know, the guest manifest. So I saw that they were going to be there. So yeah, we put The Way We Were in the show the night that she was there, and that was really something.
Yeah.
It was really something. It was very
curious,
special.
what type of music did you grow up on? What was in the house, and what were you, what were you singing to?
It was pretty eclectic. We had, Nancy Wilson. We had Nancy Wilson in the house. Her Something Wonderful album. There was Billie Holiday's double greatest hits. There was Aretha Franklin, Queen of Soul. There was Barbra Streisand, like 2 or 3 Barbra Streisand albums. There was Ramsey Lewis. There was Herb Alpert, the whipped cream one that everybody everybody remembers. We had Friends of Distinction. I mean, it was all around the genres. And but I was always attracted to the lyrics of a song. And so I was really into the songs that told some kind of a story. I mean, every song tells a story, but some stories are deeper than others. It's interesting because some lyrics are actually difficult to memorize, because you could take the sections and the verses or the A sections and you could just kind of interchange them. It wouldn't matter. There's nothing really story-wise that's going through in kind of like a sequential manner. But those were the ones that I was attracted to, the ones that were more like you were reading somebody's tale. Yeah. And then when I was in high school, of course, then I was into Heart was my, I loved them. Anything. I was in a band that did Heart and Fleetwood Mac and, Styx and all the guys, all the stuff. Yeah, all the stuff.
Those experiences were like the impetus for your new album, which we'll get to in a second. But can you take us down a journey of when you first recorded an album, and what was that like, and why? I mean, why did you record your first album?
The first album I recorded was in 2004, right before we moved to Portland, and it was done by Tom Kennedy, my friend Tom Kennedy, the bassist. I had been in his group for about 9 months. He had gotten off the road. He's a St. Louisan. He'd gotten off the road, and he heard me at an event, a mutual event that we were on, and asked me if I'd like to sing with this new quartet that he was putting together. And I had been singing in, we called them wedding bands. Here in Atlanta, they call them corporate bands, but we called them wedding bands back then. And we did all kinds of, we worked for all kinds of things. But I'd been doing that for many years. I got sick of that. Then I was in club bands, and we were doing, pop and rock. But I had started doing jazz in college, and I missed it. I missed the music. I missed the standards. And I knew that I wanted to get back to that. I quit the other kind of stuff, and I started freelancing. I quit being in a band. Like, I didn't want to be committed to a band, and I started freelancing. And then that's when Tom heard me during that period and asked me if I wanted to start working with him. Okay, so we worked together for several months, and then he said, you actually should record. I had never done a CD. I'd never done anything like that. He had a studio in his home, and he said, you should record. So we're going to do a record. And he, chose the theme. He arranged things. I was very, very green, really new to the whole process. And, he just walked me through it. And it was a wonderful learning experience. I listened to that record now, which is out of print. And I sound like a little big baby. But
well, what a blessing to have a mentor like Tom Kennedy, who's one of the monsters. Yeah. I mean, he's just an absolute monster bass player.
I've been really fortunate that way, because he was a great mentor to have. I learned so much about. Tom was really about the staying true to the music. He was kind of a purist that way, but he was very I didn't know enough to not stay true to the music. You know what I'm saying? To kind of go and create something, you really should be grounded in the foundation of that thing first. And that is what I learned from him. And it wasn't always, it was sometimes painful to learn it, because he could be very blunt. you know, if I tried some stuff that I wasn't ready to try, you know, he could be real blunt about it.
But you couldn't be
that's
the
all
person
good.
you are now without that, though, right? You couldn't go through that rite of passage, right?
No. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's so important to have that period in your path. You know, you really have to have somebody who kind of will tell you like it is, and somebody who has the experience to be able to do that with you know, credibility.
Yeah, I saw time with Tanya Maria.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Can't remember maybe early 90s, I can't remember when it was, but and I met the drummer on that gig was Ricky Sebastian, who's a great drummer. Lives in New, you know, Ricky, yeah. Tyrone. And but that was my first like, whoo, these, because it was like that Brazilian funk thing that was a huge influence on my playing, just that whole concept. So that's really cool.
Karla is so finicky about bass players right there, you know.
Well, I mean,
I got a little spoiled.
I mean, come on, you know. So your first record, and then so you now you were still in St. Louis at that time, and then when did you make the move to Portland?
The very beginning of 2005.
Okay.
So it was a corporate relo for John, my husband, and so we moved out there. I knew that this move might happen, but Portland, Oregon was nowhere on my radar. I don't even know if I'd ever even heard of it before. And I remember flying out there the first time, and I was watching the flight path on the screen in front of me, and I was crying because I just thought, man, I just got into this really good situation musically, and I'm learning so much, and now I'm being ripped out of it. Yeah, I don't want to go.
Shout out to JH.
But you know how these things are, you know how life is. And if when something closes, usually it's because something else needs to open. And Portland is a fantastic jazz town. And for somebody who wanted to really, sink my teeth into that, it was the best place for me to go. There are incredible players there. It's where a lot of guys from LA go to retire. You know, Dave Frischberg's there, George Mitchell, who plays he tours with Diana Ross, Randy Porter, who's a Steinway artist, just people who play for Pink Martini. I mean, it's just, really great jazz town. They had a great jazz festival. So I went there, and they had a really great circuit. And, it took me about a year and a half to kind of, when you go someplace new, to kind of find your way and get heard and things. But I was on that circuit. So I was working all of the good lounges and the good clubs. I had, I was working multiple times a week and working with all of these different people. So I had, a roster of pianists, a roster of bassists, a roster of drummer. I just, plug in my configurations, and everybody had something to teach me. I learned from everybody because everybody's style is different. Everybody accompanies different. Everybody makes different choices. I built my book because I had so many hours of sets I had to fill. I just learned song after song after song because I got bored, and I just wanted to keep learning things. And then I started working with Bobby Torres, who he used to tour with Joe Cocker and Etta James, and he has a Latin jazz ensemble still. He's 82, and he still has his Latin jazz ensemble out there. There was a great jazz club at the time. Yeah. And so that was like a master class in Latin music. I mean, I didn't know what I was doing. I'm telling you, you talk about faking it till you make it. I don't know if I ever made it, but I got pretty good at faking it. Yeah.
But I don't want to gloss over something.
Hold on. You might want to come to this Latin rhythm clinic that we're doing.
Yeah, I think
did I mention that?
Okay. Hey, I don't want to gloss over something because it happened to me too. I already had like a career in New Orleans and come into a new place, and knowing what or your experience level, how did you broker? You said you had a year about trying to figure things out, how to work with people and stuff. But what kind of lens did you have coming into Portland's like, okay, I'm going to find some work or gigs? What did that even look like? Like what did you do, or what did you ascertain? What did you say, these are the kind of gigs I want, and I don't want these kind of gigs anymore? Or is it like, I'm looking for people who I can vibe with, that I can connect with? What did that look like?
Oh gosh, that's a good question. I don't know. I didn't have a master plan. I just wanted to get out there, and I guess I just felt compelled to get out there and start meeting people. So I would go to places where there were singers, and I would talk to them afterwards. And usually it didn't take long. I think there were just a couple of times I went out, and then somebody told me about this singer who holds a singers jam session. And there's an accompanist that works for that jam session. And I contacted the person who ran the session, and then I contacted, and she said, sure, come out, and you can talk to our accompanist, Mark Simon. So then I called him, I showed up on his doorstep, and practiced a few things, did the session, and then did the jam session. And then she asked me if I would be part of like a Portland Jazz Singers review. And they had a show in Newport, Oregon, and that was it. That was 2006. And then I was doing the thing. And then an agent out there heard me, and he was the one who was booking all of the the clubs and the lounges and everything, and started plugging me into there. And that's how it happened. So
can you talk about the importance of, like, I'm sure it wasn't easy, like, think, oh God, I gotta go up to this place, I gotta sit in, I gotta meet people. Like, how did you sort of like mentally get yourself in order to like go and make that move? Because that's a huge step for a lot of young people. We see young people at these gigs, but they won't say anything. We have to kind of go approach them now. So it's like, we want them to come and introduce yourself, tell us what you're doing, all those kinds of things. But talk a little bit about that.
I had never been to a jam session before. I was always in the bands in St. Louis, so I'd never been to a jam session. I didn't even know really what to do, what it was. I remember, and they put me with somebody who was brand new, and I said, can we do Route 66? And he said, I don't know it. Well, I mean, it's so then I'm like, okay. I mean, I didn't. Wow. Then I called somebody in St. Louis, a friend in St. Louis, and I said, he said he didn't know Route 66. He goes, just tell him to play the 12 bar blues.
I've never heard that one before.
I know, right. I know, but he wasn't like, he was a young guy. He probably played, I don't know, he probably played like Soundgarden or something. I don't know, but but I didn't. There were times when I was ready getting to do something new, and I would literally cry before somebody shoved me out the door. I mean, the fear thing is real. It's a very real thing. And but the desire and the kind of the need to sing was stronger than my fear. And I had people who were telling me, you can do this. You can do this. Get out, get out there, do it. You don't even know you can do this. Go do it. But yeah, you have to decide that what you want to do is more important to you than sitting in your anxiety and not doing it.
Then you do it all over again when you come to Atlanta.
Yeah.
What happened with that? That's another JH moment.
Yes, it was. I loved Portland. You have to understand. My situation in Portland was really good, but you know what? It was getting kind of tapped out. And I haven't really said that before, but it was getting a little tapped out. So the Atlanta thing happened at just the right time for me to do something different, although, I didn't want to move. It wasn't something that I was asking to do. And it was a tough move because St. Louis, one culture, Portland, completely another. Atlanta, it's like going, like I'm looking at my square. Here's the top of the edge of the country. Here's where I ended up. You know, it's like how far apart can you be? And a completely different culture. So much bigger. You know, so different. And what did I do here first? I went to Twain's, and I happened to move 2 doors down from Michelle Glende, who was going to all the jam sessions, and met her. Michelle. She said, "Oh," she comes, you know, walking down the street, and she said, "We've got a place right over here on Canton Street, and there's some monster players there. You're gonna come with me here." And I went up there, and it was Craig and Kevin Bales, Craig Shaw, Kevin Bales, and I don't remember who. Was it you, Chris?
I don't
playing
think so.
Above Provisions on Canton Street. Well, anyway, and so that was one of the first times I went out here, and then we ended up at the jam sessions, and then, you know, meeting people, and thank God for those places where people are willing to let you get up and sit in and stick your toe in the water.
That's right.
So you did albums 3, 4, and 5 here in Atlanta?
Yeah, actually.
So is 3 certain elements, or the 3 the Brubeck? Which one? 2
is Brubeck.
Oh wait, 2 is Brubeck.
Yeah, Brubeck was in 2015.
So you did that here too. Okay.
Yeah, that came after I met Ted Howe.
Okay, and that was weird because Ted Howe is an arranger from the Schillinger School, which is the preceded Berkeley. So he has that Schillinger system, which is a whole different thing altogether. So one of the songs that we play with you is Take 5, 7.
Take 5, 6, 7.
Take 5, 6, 7. You know, and that's the Ted Howe arrangement. We had somebody ask about, well, one of our producers on the show, he wanted to hear more about the Brubeck situation. So can you talk us through 2, 3, and 4?
2, 3, and 4. Yeah. So at Twain's, I met somebody who is friends with, should I say names? I don't know. Okay, Ed Harris. And he introduced me to Ted Howe. And then Ted told me that he'd had this idea sitting in a drawer for years. And he thought maybe I'd be interested. Thought maybe I could do it. And did I want to? So there it is. Yeah. And when he told me the idea, I thought, do I want to? That sounds really interesting.
Right.
And Ted is a very, Ted is so creative, and he likes to arrange things in very different ways. And so, you know, that was a whole nother like master class in how somebody approaches things. So we recorded that in LA, which is where Ted lives, although he was back and forth here. And the rhythm section was Tom Kennedy and Dave Weckl and Ted, and Bob Shepard played the alto on that. So it was, again, a huge learning experience, just, you know, my second album. And here I am standing in an ISO booth in this studio in Los Angeles with Dave Weckl and Tom Kennedy, and I'm singing these songs in 7, and it was just crazy. It was crazy, but you know, we had rehearsed them. Ted and I had rehearsed them for several months before I ever went out there, but I never got a chance to sing any of those songs on shows before we recorded them. And I really think that it's helpful to be performing some songs so they get in your system. You know, for a singer, I'm sure it's the same with an instrumentalist, but for a singer, I think it's really important for a song to live inside of you for a while to get a really good result. I mean, I'm not saying that you can't have magic, because magic happens, but it just makes it a little more comfy.
Yeah, unless you're on a Chris Burroughs gig and you don't know which version of the song or iteration of the song you're going to do, because he's changed it up like 15,000 times. But that's another subject.
There's no rules. Ain't no rules.
No rules.
Ain't no rules, man.
That's fun.
I mean,
Yeah.
A lot. Well, I mean, a lot of the, the artists that we, admire, or, especially like from the band era, like a lot of their stuff was born out of just jams. They would jam at sound check, and they would compile these jams, and then they would take little bits and they would piece them together, and they would end up, running the stuff and come up with before they went into the studio, rather than, you get to the studio and you don't know what, I mean, I think a lot of what, at least in the jazz idiom, a lot of what we're up against is, we don't know what because we're just going to get a chart kind of placed in front of us, and we have to, kind of figure it out within, minutes. But I like what you said about this, like when you can live with the songs, or live with the music, and live with the groove, and then you go in and record, but the opposite can be true, is if you have something that's new, you might not know it that well, you lay it down as a recording. But that's the first iteration. It can change from there. I think a lot of, it's like, at least that's what I think, you can everything can change, and the live thing can be different than the studio thing.
There's constraints in the studio and recording a project you have to be aware of.
Right.
Time limit, whatever. So
time, man. Time is the enemy.
Undefeated.
I have to say it depends on the project and the producer too, because Ted was a certain kind of a musician, and he had arrangements. And we were doing those arrangements, right?
Exactly, right.
But I will say that on like this latest, I know we're going to go sequentially, but on this latest album, we had both. We had songs that we had performed several times before, and then we had songs that we'd never done before. We went into the studio, or before we prepared to record. So
I mean, let's go there. Let's talk about the process, because that, I think it's still, even though it was a year ago, or a little over a year ago, where
July 20th or something like that.
We were in the studio the 23rd and the 24th, because the 24th is John's birthday.
Yeah. So
yeah.
And there, so let's chop that up a little bit, because you had two bands essentially. You had myself,
two rhythm sections.
Well, it's two bands to me. It's two different
groups. Other spot musicians too. So, but
right. But you had two different rhythm sections, and then you had some spot musicians, and Tyrone was the the main keyboard player, the co-producer, arranged stuff, and so when you, I guess, got the urge to merge. Ooh, that was nice. You see that? See how I did that? What was how did this project sort of come
about? Tyrone and I had been doing arranging a few songs for my live shows. And I had been wanting for a while to take some songs that were from what I grew up with, the R&B and the soul, and do some things that were jazz colored that way. And we did a duo show at Lake Lanier a couple of years ago. And the second set, we just kind of started pulling things out of my book that were classic 70s things. And we did, I think, a Marvin Gaye tune, Tyrone. I think it was Marvin Gaye, What's Going On. And Wayne, who comes out to a lot of things, was in the back of the room, and he called out, "I would love more of that."
Right.
He loved the mashup. And I sat there and I thought, you know what? So would I. So would I. So that's what I thought. And then fast forward, several months, I woke up one morning, and this is how it happens with me when my intuition is just like, poof. I woke up one morning and I knew that I wanted to do this record. I knew the concept. I knew it would be called Merge. I didn't have a song called Merge. I just knew that it was going to be called Merge. And, I told Tyrone, I said, I want to do a record. Will you work with me on it? And we got started right away arranging. He'd come over to the house here. Got a piano. I'd bake brownies, gluten-free brownies, because
have to have
that's what
inspiration.
Fuels the creativity, bro.
Yeah. I see a pattern here. We're gonna talk about this pattern in a second, but I see a pattern here.
Okay. But every couple few weeks, he'd come over and we'd work on a few more songs. We'd, look at the material and I'd say, I've always loved this song. Can we do something with this? I've always loved this song. Can we do something with this?
I don't know if the first one was that supposed to be part of the album, or is just that you had this idea. It was like almost like being in love. I don't remember that.
That was not. No, that was before. That was like 2 years ago. I just wanted something up to open shows with. I said I need something different to open shows with, and I had the idea for that while I was out walking the dog one morning. Yeah.
Yeah. I still have the voice memo of that in my phone.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
It's like, hey, I'm thinking about this song. It's like da 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 da. I'm like, now I gotta transcribe this joint and figure out. So I called you out and said, you're not singing in 4/4 right here, but you break into 4/4. So we figured it out. And I think that was the first arrangement I think we did, right? That was a part of this album, but we didn't know it was going to be part of the album.
That, and yes, so that was the first arrangement we did. And then the second thing that we had already been doing was Stand By Me. And that's your arrangement.
Yeah,
that you had the combo. I heard you gave it to your combo at KSU, and I heard the combo do it. And I remember sitting there in Morgan Hall and going, I want to sing that song. I'm taking that song. And
we're not gonna do anything with that. She like it out. Taking it.
We did it at a concert, and we've done it ever since.
Yeah. Okay, so those two, and then you had a concerted effort to create an album, and then all these things started coming from what we entitled the Brownie Sessions, and so
they were just regular gluten-free brownies. I was just
going to say that can mean,
just want to make that clear.
Didn't have any extra chemicals in there,
We didn't need any extra.
No hallucinogens, or,
right.
Anything like that.
We were high on the music.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and you have like a couple of different rhythm sections. So,
well, Tyrone, that was really you made that call. So why don't you explain why we made that call?
Well, I don't know how to even go there, except that you have the veterans, which is Chris, Billy, and myself, and then you had the New Jacks as well, which was like not me,
New Jack City,
but Kelly and Robert Boone, and so oftentimes like the gigs were coming fast and furious, so we grabbed those two core sections, and so and you'll talk about probably how some of the other songs started too. So in those iterations, you found something there, and I don't think you want to exclude them from the process of it, So there's two very different kind of approaches, and I thought that was a tremendous undertaking to take care of who's going to play on what and how it turned out, and everybody has a different way of tuning and approaching, and you go into the studio and you got to get sounds, and all of a sudden you have to start over with sounds with another group. But I thought it was well done. It's just that would be just like, I don't know, difficult, because you're dealing with two different sounds, two different levels of experience and energy as well, So I think that was a necessary thing to do to make the album more collaborative, to get the input and stuff, because sometimes it's not so, we have a schematic or a design for something, and then you do and I do and Chris does, we want the musicians to interpret what they do to it. So many other people have an approach like play the ink on a page and that's it. I've written this out. But Duke Ellington always wrote for his band members, like, this person's my band. I'm going to let this person play, you know, Paul Gonzalez and all, whoever was on there. And that's why his music was so effective, because he wrote to the strengths of the people in his band, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I learned long ago that as a vocalist, you can do your thing and you can do a lot, but you are only as strong as the people who are supporting you. Right. And I wanted to make music with the musicians.
Right.
I didn't want to be like, I didn't want to be window dressing. I didn't want to be, you know, I wanted to be a part of it. I didn't want to be apart from it. And so, especially with jazz, you know, the whole respecting what everybody brings to the table is such a big part of it. And, you know, wanting that kind of contribution and collaboration it's just how I feel, you know, it's just what's important to me.
I actually have a question.
I love that gel.
Yeah. I actually have a question for Chris, because Chris, when, you know, me and Karla, we were working a lot on this over time. And then when you get the skeleton of everything, how did you, like, going into the studio, what was your mindset? It's like, do I interpret this? Do I add my ideas, or do I just play what was your mindset when you have something like this presented to you that we've been working over time, but it's fresh to you?
We had that rehearsal before we went into the studio. We had that one session to rehearse these before. That was your first look at it.
So there were some seeds that had already been kind of, you know, planted in terms of, I think, what you guys kind of wanted as an outline. You know, there was a couple things that you didn't know. What is this thing called love? We had no idea that was even gonna go that way until we got there, and we were, I think, just trying a couple of different feels, and I played that, you know, that Afro-Cuban kind of thing, and it was like, that's it. So, but you know, we've been working together for so long. I don't think I thought at all about. I just, you know, one thing you were talking about today in the lesson with John was trust, and how important trust is with who you're playing with. So when you have that trust, I just think you don't really think about, like, well, is this the right call or is this not the right call? It's just like, I trust what this cat is either thinking, or I trust what this person wants, or you just, and then you just let go. I think that's you know, the studio, as you were saying, Tyro, earlier, is like, I mean, it's going to expose you for what you are. So, especially drummers, and it's just something that you have to learn on the, you know, how you tune your drums, how you hit the drum. The inconsistencies of it's all going to come out. So
tape doesn't lie.
The more that you do that, and it takes years to really learn how to record, how to be a good studio musician, because the studio thing is a lot different than the live thing. A live thing almost a lot of times is more just about the energy and what's happening in the moment, but the studio is more, okay, I have to paint the picture for this song, and that's it. So less is more. I'm definitely a fan of less is more. And how do we support the melody? How do we support the most important parts of the song? So that's really probably what I was, you know, I was thinking. I want to play. Because I want to play. I mean, we played it a little bit earlier. But I want y'all to talk about, because this is, I think you wrote this together, which is the title track. Okay, Merge.
Yeah, this is the last
song we wrote, right?
Yeah, it's the last song.
One. So this is a title track. Okay, so but let's just, I mean, I'm gonna play this, and then I want you guys to just kind of talk about the process for this particular song. So let's see if I got it in the right place.
That's it.
To play on this, Chris?
What's that?
Did you happen to play on this song?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I did play on this. So, but one thing I got to do is, let's see, how do I need to
It's
like...
a good time to talk about the merchandise too, right here.
Right.
Great segue. As y'all keep talking,
I got a lot of.
Can I set this up a little bit?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So let me set this up. So the concept of the album, as we were talking about, was to take the diverse influences, not just of the music that I grew up with, but just culturally as well. And so my background, my ethnic background and everything is a focus of this particular song. And you'll hear that in the lyric. The story is all of the many, varied influences that I had growing up in my family and in my music, in my musical path. But this was the last song that we prepared for the record. I didn't know that there was going to be a title track. And then one night I was thinking, I kind of think we should have one. And it was just like, boom, I got this. I got the lyric. I got the melody. It was 10 o'clock at night. I scribbling it down. I'm singing into a memo on my phone. And then we were supposed to go into the studio in 3 weeks. This was 3 weeks before the session. And we'd been working on, track or, song after song. We had 13 songs already. Because remember, we benched one of the songs.
Right.
And I called Tyrone up the next morning. I said, we have another song. We have to get together. And he's like,
another song.
Oh my God. Okay. So I thought that it was going to be like a Latin thing. But when I played the thing and I sang it to Tyrone, I didn't tell him that I thought it was going to be a Latin thing. He just put this. Tell the feel. You talk about the feel. It's better.
Yeah, it was like I heard like a Elvin Jones kind of Latin, which is like he had a swing and a Latin built into each other. It was like it's a weird kind of thing. Because I'm like a McCoy Tyner head, but that feel that Elvin does is kind of African and swing at the same time,
Right.
So I felt that would be a good marriage for those lines. And this song I think is composed a certain way where it's I would say crafted rather than composed, if that makes sense. And the impetus is, I guess, to talk about the merging in all factors, right? It could be the merge of the music that has affected you and all of us who played on it that combined to make who we are. Or it could be the merge of the experiences that we've had over time. Or it could be the merge of where we are in our life as we look back on our life, right? So I think it encompasses all those things. And how can you get that in a song? But it was very intentional that you want to have different feels in there and different idiomatic phrases that kind of make up who you are or what represents this music.
Your changes that you put with the melody line though were also very very critical to the sound of this song.
Yeah,
as a real mysterious kind of quality. To me, it has like a loping feel. There's like a loping feel to it, and then it switches up to the swing, the walking bass line, the swing at the end.
And it has this parallel motion, like you have a set of changes or a design that goes down a whole step in another whole step, right? So it's motivic, but it's also logically prepared. I would say that it takes a sequence and moves down on a whole step with it. But I think that was just following what you did with the melody. So came up with the melody first, right?
And then the decision to add alto flute with Sam Skelton playing the alto flute is just gave it this kind of mysterious, haunting quality that I think is really lovely.
And it's a hard song to play.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was going to be too hard to play until I had to play it, right?
But we did it live for the first time in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
queuing you
up. Oh, we got there, Captain.
Only you realize that people just really gonna think great things about the drum track. All that other.
That's right.
Stuff.
The Elvinish.
All right. Let's check it out.
That stuff's not easy.
Lifetime loan, all the shapes in the mosaic, casting light into the room, all the lingered legacies from ancestors of different hues. City sights and country nights, we rode between the two, influenced by preference before I even knew. Songs reach from the radio, spanning every style, every groove. I was never just one thing, and in truth, neither are you. I reveled in it all, revel in it all, revel in it all. Merge. Just one thing, and in truth, neither are you. I revel in it all, revel in it all, revel in it all. Merge.
Yeah.
Drummer's killing, man.
I was going to say something about that. I've listened to this thing, Karla, probably over 1,000 times, over thousands of times, right? I never noticed you comping behind Sam, your snare drum, ta com pom pom. That I never noticed that before, and I've listened to this thing thousands of times. But yeah,
man, so good, so good.
Great intonation from Billy on those lines where piano are together with bass. That's hard to do, to play.
Yeah. Just everybody.
I've never comping before, Chris. So hey, shout out to you, bro.
When in doubt, take it to Africa, man. That's when in doubt.
Just great work by everybody. You know, it's so much fun, you know, as a songwriter to hear it come together, to hear something that was, you know, just this thing you heard in your head and you're, you know, and then say, please, here's my baby.
Right.
Please take care of my baby. You know, because I can't do it all myself.
It's so hard to teach that break into the swing from all that into a burning. Man, that was just beautiful.
Yeah.
Just to get that feel going there.
Yeah.
And you're scatting. Do you scat a lot now? I mean, were you ever known as a scat singer before, or what?
It was never that important to me, but I've been doing it more and more over the past several years than I ever used to, and I think something that you should approach cautiously in public. I think that in your practice time and everything, that you know, have fun with it. You know, go ahead and try some stuff, but I feel like people think that a jazz singer scats. A jazz singer has to scat.
Right.
And, you know, Audrey Shakir, you know, RIP, you know, God rest her soul. She always said, you do not have to scat, and maybe you shouldn't even be scatting. You can hear her saying it, right? You can hear her saying it, right? Yeah, right. So she would sometimes she would have, you know, workshops, and some of my students would go to Audrey's workshops, and that's what they would come back and tell me. And I'm like, yeah, right on, Audrey. You know, thank you for reinforcing that.
Maybe you shouldn't.
Maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you shouldn't. You know, maybe you shouldn't. But you know, it is something that you can grow into. I feel like I've definitely grown into it. And you have for me, if the song is something that I have a lot of good muscle memory with, and I have a very familiar with the changes, and certain tempos and everything lend themselves more to it than others. For me, you know, for me.
So that's an original, and you guys also arranged a really interesting version of the Isley Brothers song.
Yeah.
which has been done ad nauseum at every, well, you know.
I just remember the last rehearsal, somebody just stared at you, Chris.
Shout out to Leonard.
Oh, right.
He was just shaking his head like, no.
I can't even hear one. I can't even.
Whatever. I mean, it's not really that hard. But can you guys talk a little bit about? Because I remember you guys called me on the phone when you were working on this, and or some. Wait a minute.
I called you up.
Did you call? You called me, right?
Yeah, and we had a little demo version that we did, but I don't think we had drums on it.
Yeah, it wasn't. You guys weren't together. You're right. It was just you, Tyrone.
But
so talk a little bit about this one and what your idea was for this.
Go ahead, Karla.
Well, you know, Tyrone said, send me the list of songs you think you might want to work on. So I did. And then he came in and he was putting this in 7. I'm like, well, I knew we'd have something that was in 7. Especially if Chris Burrows is going to be playing on
right,
this
exactly.
Wait a minute. I had nothing to do with this. How did I get in this?
We already know.
Yeah. So, and I remember we worked on this and I said, you know, nobody's going to be able to dance to this. Everybody's going to be mad at you. But I loved it. And then I said, could we insert, so we're not in 7 the whole time, can we do something different, like, you know, on the choruses or something like that, or, you know, some section. And then we put that samba section in.
Well, no, I thought that happened. Chris actually did that. We had it in 7 the whole time. That section in 7. Oh no, the choruses we had in 4, but not the chorus.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
But that extended chorus, Chris came up with it. Yeah.
Right. The outro.
Right.
Absolutely. That happened at the rehearsal. Oh no, in the studio. I think in the studio.
Yeah.
Right. That was one of the studio.
But yeah, you didn't want the whole thing in 7, so we hit the chorus. Want to be living for the love of you. That was in 4.
Yeah,
which was cool.
Wait a minute, the chorus is in 7
until the outro.
The pre-chorus.
The pre-chorus. Yes.
Oh yeah,
the pre-chorus is in 4. Right.
Yeah. Pre-chorus. Yeah.
Yeah, the chorus is in 7.
Might as well. Yeah. Yeah, pre-chorus.
Right.
Until the outro, and then it switches.
And the outro is in. We switched it. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
But you're already adept at singing in mixed meters. You're one of the only singers that embraces that, and you're like okay, let's take on the challenge. You don't look at it as like I can't do this. You're like, there's a way, so let me figure it out.
Yeah, that's thanks to Ted Howe, because he put mixed meters on that Brubeck record.
Right.
And he helped me to understand how to sing over that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I told, but see, Chris, which I don't know about Chris is you can be excited about something and say, hey, or have a certain sense of urgency. And Chris is like, yeah, whatever, man, I'll check it out, whatever. And I'm like, hey, bro, I need you to take a look at this, bro, because I don't even know what groove this is going to be, but this is what we hear. Here's the bass line. Chris is like, yeah, man, just send it to me, bro. So then I call him up and say, hey, man, did you get a chance to listen to that? Nah, man, I'm drinking a little coffee right now, man. I was like, when is this dude going to take a look at this thing? He's supposed to move on. And he already alluded to I'm impatient. So, but Chris is like cool under pressure. He's like, man, we'll make it happen. Slow down. It's going to be all right.
Yeah, very much so.
You can't rush. You can't rush it, man. That's the,
When I first moved here, Chris, somebody told me Chris Burrows is like a cat.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
A cantankerous cat?
No. he said Chris is a cat. You have to watch him. Like, he will decide when he moves.
Yeah,
he doesn't.
That's definitely
That's good. I like that. Yeah.
I think that was it became the easiest hard song on there because of what we had, But to other people,
right.
Go ahead, Chris.
No, I was just saying again, it just experience and working with and listening to that style of music, man. I mean, I was like the odd man out in 6th grade listening to all that kind of stuff, but it prepared me to hear those things. And then when you study working with different meters, it's just about trying to find the thread that will tie things together. That's I think the hardest thing for people, because they don't, as Karla was saying, if you think you can't dance to it, but if you go listen to Greek music, they're in 11, 13, 15, and those people are dancing up a storm.
Right.
So there's got to be it can't just be because of the number that's in front of the music. It's got to be like, I remember when that Sting record 10 Summoner's Tales came out, and there was a lot of 7 and 5 on that record, but it was within pop songs, which a lot of people hadn't really done. But I figured that you figure out the code. Oh, this is okay. So this is how it is an odd, but everything seems even because there's some kind of pulse that's going through. And that's what we figured out with this one.
And you had the pressure of destroying a classic. You know what I'm saying? The pressure is like, first of all, why are we doing it differently?
That's a good question.
You're going to interpret, and there's so many more, Karla, that we've redone on there. And maybe I could posit the question to you: why would we do these over? Like Still in Love and What You Won't Do for Love, all these loves too, by the way.
It was a lot of love. Right. Yeah.
Right. All right. Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, you got it.
Was that a question?
Yeah. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, that is the long held tradition in jazz, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the long held tradition in jazz. How are you feeling it?
Right.
That's right.
What does your life and your experience bring to this song and the way it's going to sound today?
Right.
So that's the fun and the beauty of this style of music.
Mm.
All right. Well, let's check it out.
Oh. No.
Nice.
Drifting on a memory. Ain't no place I'd rather be than with you. Loving you. Day will make way for night. And all we'll need is candlelight and a song soft and long. I'm glad to be here alone with a lover that's like no other. It's sad to see a new horizon slowly coming into. Wanna be living for the love of you, and all that I'm giving is for the love of you. Lovely as a ray of sun that touches me when the morning comes, feels good to me. Yeah, my love and me. Smoother than a gentle breeze, flowing through my mind at ease, soft as can be. When you're loving me,
Sounds like a hit to me. Sounds like a hit to me.
You're muted. Tyrone's muted.
I said no click track, people.
How could you even with that?
How could you even, really? Really?
You know what I remember about that session when we recorded, and let's added that 4/4 section in there for that last chorus. Karla was like, I don't even know how to sing it back in 4/4 now.
It was hard to get it.
4/4 is hard. 4/4 hard. 4/4
and
is
you
hard.
know, it's funny because every time we do it live now, two things I'm thinking of. I dance to the 7/4 section.
Oh, wow,
I dance to the 7/4 section. And when we are getting ready to go into that 4/4, I prime myself. I do this, and then I've got it.
Right.
Then it's ready. Yeah, yeah. But the build with the band, the dynamic build is just so wonderful in that track. It's interesting though, when I was just listening to it, I couldn't hear the background vocals.
I couldn't either. It was just probably.
It's probably. I think this is before you guys maybe did. Some other.
Wow.
So this
isn't from the album. This isn't like
this might be the. You sent me maybe the first, like the drum, like the rhythm section was kind of done, but I don't think you guys had done the other stuff to it yet. So that's
interesting.
So
okay. Yeah. You know, Tyrone, I just want to follow up on the question about why do something different with the songs, and you know, what was the approach there? Because I have heard people deconstruct and reconstruct songs that sometimes to me it, you know, just doesn't make sense what's happening. And I think that you and I, we weren't doing it for the sake of doing it. Like the concept was to take these different influences and, you know, merge them. That was the concept. And as we approached each song with, okay, what feels organic?
Right.
What feels respectful, and what doesn't feel forced.
Right.
You know, like we weren't just saying, well, we've never done this kind of a feel before, let's stick it on this song. You know, it wasn't about that at all. It wasn't about, I've always wanted to try this with da 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 da. It was really just like, what does the song want to do? What is the song saying to us? What does it want?
To your point too, another song came about. We did that not music Midtown. What is it called?
Yeah,
something 5 went high. I can't think of the name of it.
Yeah,
it was Kelly and Boone, and we're doing a sound check, and you didn't want to use one of the songs that we were already going to do, so we sound checked with Sugar, right? And so let's just do something to it. Well, how do you want to do it? What key, whatever? And we just came into did it, and I was like, maybe we should just kind of record it on our phone. I think you recorded it on your phone.
I did. I recorded it on the phone.
Yeah. So that just kind of came about. We weren't seeking to do anything different with Sugar. It wasn't like it was like constructed. It just kind of happened.
And it wasn't on the album until after that. Then it was like, I think maybe I want to record that. And it was the same way with Nice Work If You Can Get It.
Right. Exactly. Same deal.
Yeah.
And I remember what you won't do for love. I remember when I said, hey, I got an idea, but I was like, it sounds kind of dark, but I was like, I want you to think about the lyrics. Doesn't the lyrics sound dark? Because if you think about what's the lyrics to the song, Karla?
I guess you wonder where I've been.
Right.
I searched to find a place within. I came back to let you know I got a thing for you and I can't let go.
That sounds
but it's a stalker. It's stalker, man. Most of those songs that people, every breath you take, like all of those.
I was just getting ready to say.
Aretha Franklin, written by Stevie Wonder. I'm gonna rap on your door, knock on your window, until you come back to me.
I know, right? I'm gonna camp on your door. Yeah, right. No, you're not.
Right.
But yes, it totally worked. The groove that you put with it, the changes that you put with it, it allowed me to interpret. All of a sudden, I was interpreting these lyrics completely not like the original version at all. Completely now, it as I was telling you earlier today, Tyrone, it became something that was much more untamed. Right. You know, and Chris, when we did that call and response, whose idea was that? to do the call and response at the end of What You Won't Do.
I think
In the studio, yeah, I think it might have been you, Tyrone.
yeah.
But that was a place to just really just let it go, you know.
Well, you know what? I
Yeah.
take that back. I think what happened was we had like 3 takes of it, and Trammell accidentally had all 3 takes going at the same time, and it created this like thing. And then
Oh,
you
maybe
said,
the
well,
2 takes.
yeah, the
Yeah.
2 takes, whatever what it
Yeah,
was.
the 2.
And it
Because I
almost
added the 3rd later. Yeah.
right. So you became intentional about this polyphony that came from that. So yeah.
That's
Yeah.
I love
Yeah,
when
that
mistakes like that happen. That's
It's
cool.
serendipity.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
Serendipity.
cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when we were working on that, you guys had the whole thing, and I thought about this Peter Gabriel type of thing in the just like no cymbal, no pulse, really, just the bass drum and the rim shot. So it had the real dark, sort of this darkness, you know, before we went into the real sort of. It turns into like a dance hall thing. But it's, you know, which, you know, was Tyrone's original idea. But again, I think it's just, you know, you used a great word of building through these tracks, which is can be difficult to do. But yeah,
you know, and we're talking here about how everybody had ideas that they contributed. And, you know, the album just got a really nice review on All About Jazz. And the thing that he said that was a real highlight for him listening to it was that the collaborative spirit, the collaborative thing that really comes through. And that was just like one of the best things he could have said, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
So where can people find that review, Karla? Is that
It's on my website. So you can go to karlaharris.com, and it's Karla with a K. And it's, if you just scroll down on the home page, it's my news headlines, and it's on there.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this was a treat. We've been waiting to get you on. This was the perfect time to get you on. You got a new release. We got some shows coming. When is the CD release show? That's in September, right?
9th or something?
September 20th. Yeah.
September 20th.
Saturday.
Close.
You need a brownie.
11 days off. 11 days off.
You need a brownie.
Hey, he'd have been early. He would at least he'd have been early.
I would have been to the gig. Where y'all at?
I need a t-shirt, Chris.
Okay.
Falgu, do you have a t-shirt?
I only had a couple made up, y'all.
Where's your merchandise?
This is a mom and pop right here. This is mom and pop operation. Like, you know.
I want it with a little cap sleeve. I want a female version. A little cap sleeve.
Now you sound like
no plaid.
Plaid. You that black and red plaid, bro. So September 20th is a CD release.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And I tell you what, if you go to my website and you go to the calendar, there's information on that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's Karla. What's your website is just
karlaharris.com.
karlaharris.com.
Falguzzi has it up there. Falguzzi put it in the thing.
I'm always impressed with y'all get these websites with y'all's. You know how long it took me to get Chris Burrows. Chris Burrows, not even a common name. I had to wait about 20 years to get there. You got Tyrone Jackson, Karla Harris. I'm like,
when did you get your website? What year did you get your website?
Oh man, a long time ago, but I had to call it Chris Burrows Percussion Drum at rockford.com. Somebody had taken all of the iterations of Chris, you know. I was like, man, who is this cat that is
Chris Burrows? Now he sings, now he sobs.
So I finally got it, but it was like I just got a year ago, ago or 2 years ago, something like that. So
wow,
the cat finally gave it up. But karlaharris.com. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, a couple of things. You had a documentary out. You were also voted Atlanta's Jazz Journalists Association Jazz Hero this year.
Yeah,
right?
thank you.
There
Thank
it is
you. Yeah,
right
that
there.
was a big surprise. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
But you had a documentary as well that was done. Well, no, what is that? A
Mhm.
small, what do you call it? A small film, short film or something?
Yeah, it's a portrait documentary. It's a
Portrait
short.
documentary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like 15 minutes long, and it was part of the Filmer program with South Fulton Arts.
Right.
Worked with a really great young director by the name of Elise Junior Samprou, and very talented young man. And it was a really interesting and different creative thing to do. I had a really good time with it. Yeah. You're in it, and Tyrone's in it.
I'm in it, and also your other band member is in there too. Joe Alterman, yeah, he's in there too.
Yeah, and Chris is in it.
Chris is in it. Yeah, Chris is playing in it.
Chris is in a shot. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you have you're also an educator.
Yes, I teach applied vocal jazz at Kennesaw State University. I'm your colleague on the jazz studies department. Yes.
Very nice, very nice.
We teach a class together. And
do you teach privately too?
I have a couple of older students who are, they're established vocalists. I really like working with people who are doing the thing, jazz vocalists who are out there working, and they just like to get suggestions and do a little bit deeper dives. That's what I like doing privately. Yeah.
Right. Are you an intense teacher? Do you stare at people in their face?
I have been known. I've been known to step on their feet and stare in their face.
What's the meanest thing you've ever said to a student?
Tyrone, you can tell the story.
You want me to tell the story?
Go ahead and tell the story.
Well, we had like a joint master class. And so this vocal student wanted a certain song in a key, and one of my students overruled the vocalist and decided, nah, we're going to do it in this key. So when we listened to the song, I said, I don't know if it was me or Carla or Trey, I can't remember which one, was like, hey, the key sounds kind of high. Let's try it in a different key, or low, or whatever it is in. Can we try a different key? And reluctantly, the vocalist says, well, I wanted to do this key, but I got overruled. And Carla was like, wait a second.
Wrong answer.
Wait. What are you saying? You saying that you told them the key? Person's like, yes, ma'am, I did tell him. Then she proceeded to go up to this piano player and just they saw the wrath of Khan right there, right? And that poor piano player was so scared, he was like running every time he saw it. They finally got back in good graces, but it was just like, she was intense. She's like, don't you ever. I was like, whoa.
Chris, we need to do a whole nother episode just talking about the singer musician.
Oh, I can't wait for that. Oh, we already got that
dynamic. We need to do a whole thing on that because
we already got that.
There's a lot to dig into there on both sides, but that was intense.
Well, I'll tell you what,
another student did the same thing.
Well, yeah. Well, we need to do a feedback jam session with vocalists.
Right. That's what I would.
Part of the panel.
Yeah.
I would love that. I'd be happy to do that. I'd love to do that. Yeah, that'd be great.
Chris, she's gonna come change all our lighting and everything like that, bro. So you got to put some restrictions in place,
No fluorescent lighting.
Yeah. Decorations or vibe,
Beyonce fan blowing.
I knew this would devolve into you guys.
Yeah.
It's all good. Chubby.
All right. Yeah. Shout out to Chubby's.
Did you see somebody wrote, did they get Chubby's barbecue from Arby's?
Arby's would have been probably better.
That would have been better. Yeah.
That'd have been a better move. So, well, listen, we've enjoyed our conversation. You got, I hope we didn't get anything out of you that you didn't want to let slip, but I don't think so. I think we kept it pretty tame, and we didn't
beat up on me too badly.
Press you for any secrets, what musicians have you worked with that you don't like, stuff like that.
I would never.
But so well, cool. Well, thanks for being a part of the show, and
thanks for having me. I really appreciate being invited. Yeah. Thanks for talking about the album, and thank you for your beautiful musicianship, both of you. It's always a pleasure. Nice. And seriously, it's always a pleasure to make music with both of you.
Thank you.
Really, really good.
So much.
We got paid for it.
Well, now that you mention it. Well, looking forward to. We'll be in rehearsal soon, I'm sure. So.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff coming out.
Carla love to rehearse, boy. Carla love to rehearse, boy.
She feels cheated. She feels cheated.
I still remember that first one at Georgia State. You remember that one at Georgia? You remember the first one at Georgia State? Boy, she got us real good with that one, boy. I was like, man, do I need to go and get overnight parking here?
Wow, I remember that because I remember you all looking at the charts, and I remember you saying, I think it was you, Chris. You said Carla didn't come here to play.
It was like,
who's this chick from Portland?
Right.
We were in there, boy. I was like,
I looked at Chris because Chris is the one that introduced me. I said, bro, I thought this was gonna be easy, bro. I thought this was gonna be easy. It's so much fun. You're a consummate professional. Everybody loves working with you, and
thank you.
We just appreciate your musicianship, your love for the band, and including us in decisions and everything. So thank you so much for being you and being gracious and
absolutely
trusting.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, shout out to JH. Tell him to tell him to keep his sneakers clean and
aka near death. Near death experience.
John Choo Choo Harris. All right, too many inside jokes.
Right. Jay, love you, JH. We'll see you soon, bro.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, man.
All
right, Carla. All right, we'll see you soon.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
All right,
how do I get out of here? Love you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, man.
Man, that first rehearsal, boy, I'll never forget that one, man. I was like, because them charts was like whoosh.
Right.
I said, okay. I'm gonna go get another music stand. Them charts take 2 music stands. I was like,
let's do it again. I would like to record it. Then I will chop it up and I'll put it in a Dropbox folder for all of us. It's like, well, okay.
Right. Yeah.
But I still remember that rehearsal. I said, hey, fellas, we got a good hour. Let's see if we can knock this joint out. Bro, we did.
Oh, she was mad.
She was in the glaze. She said,
"Did we hit mad?"
I said, "Yeah, we hit." I feel like we didn't hit everything. Oh yeah, we hit everything like that. She walking out like looking around. Like, what happened?
I feel like I got cheated.
That's what she said. I feel like I got cheated. No, we got him.
Now she gonna be onto us though, so she gonna take her time now with stuff, But hey man, it's crazy how you think of people that you've worked with over the years that you don't know what happened to them. I mean, I can think of several people I envisioned myself, just continuing to kind of work with, and for whatever reason, a lot of times they just drop off the face of the earth, which she actually admitted she did at first. Like I remember the first, our first go around with everything, and then and we were talking a lot, but then it was just like whoosh. But I think, man, sometimes people you get overwhelmed, or you're trying to find, especially when you're in you're working with new people in a new place.
Yeah.
And you just don't know what to think sometimes, you know.
Well, it's kind of hard to create your own lane, and as you're doing it and trying to figure everything out, somebody else or other people may have a lane for you in their stuff, you know. So I don't want to say it's easier, but you're just coming in. Maybe you're like, okay, I don't want to have to hustle as much. Maybe I'll just get my feet wet in these other experiences first, you know. And Ted is a force of nature. So once he got in there, you know, and also her working with Kevin and other people.
Right.
It's really hard for you to do your own thing at that point.
Right. You know, you're kind of right. Yeah. Right. You're getting so many different, because I mean, that's all. Can you imagine? You got, I mean, Ted, Kevin, me and you, Joe.
Yep.
That's all. I mean, there's nothing really in common about any of that. So you just have to, you know, she eventually just trust her instincts, and you know, but yeah, I can get, especially like when you're doing, it's so different. I think sidemen don't realize, like, especially people who have never done their own projects or have been in charge of everything like that, man. That's why I get my foot wet, and then I'm like, oh no, this is same with you. You know, I mean, same thing, man. It's like it is a lot, man.
Yeah,
a lot.
Yeah.
So shout out to Karla, and go check her new record out called Merge. It is streaming on all platforms, and go to her website. I'm sure you can get a physical. I think you can get a physical. Does she have physical copies? She didn't really say.
Physical copies.
Okay.
But it's limited amounts, so you got to get in there real quick. So I would they go to our website and see if you can order them.
And then the official concert for the release is going to be September 20. Do we know where that is? We didn't even. Well, we'll have plenty of time to.
We do, but I don't
announce that.
I can't tell you the name of the place or where.
Okay.
But I mean, tickets. I mean, I can't tell you because I don't know it. I can't remember it. Okay. I could tell you if I knew it. If I remembered, I would. But
we'll announce it when as we we get into August, and where you can get tickets and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. But get your tickets as soon as it's announced. Get it fast because
right.
Yeah, it's gonna go out quick.
All right. So next week's show, we're gonna have our man Antonio from Snug Concerts is going to be on, and he is going to talk about how Snug Concerts is basically they produce house concerts. So music lovers that maybe want to host, if your home if you feel comfortable with that, he'll explain all of that. It's a really cool concept. We've done a ton of these things. He just had one over at Leah and Tommy's house with Kenny Banks Jr. and Justin Chisark and Tommy, I think, was on bass. They just did that this past week. So he's going to give the whole breakdown, man, of how that works, how you can host if you want to, or just how you can get on the list to know when shows are coming up, and talk about everything Snug Concert. So I'm really looking forward to that one. That's going to be cool next week. So
right.
So let's finish up with the so everybody, if you weren't in the beginning of the show, I am teaming up with Frankie Quinones. We're going to do an introduction to Latin rhythms. That is going to be Sunday, August 10th at the Academy Theater in Hayfield, 6:30 to 8:30, limited seating. And we have special guests, the Aya Drummers. Our brother Kina Boto and his sons, man, are going to blow your mind with a little short opening set of some of the rhythms that they're going to play. So it's going to be really cool. And then our second version of the feedback sessions is going to be September 14th. And that is going to be at the same location at Academy Theater, and same time, 6:30, 8:30, limited seating, of course. Did we set a ticket price for that, or we have not? We'll have plenty of time. Okay, so we'll wait on tell you how much it took, but it was a huge success. Thank you for everybody that supported us and came out to the last show, and shout out to all the the young cats that played. We got videos. Everything is lined up now. We got everything chopped up. So we just got to release everything. So, and other than that, man, hey, great show.
Yeah.
It's a blast. And let's see. I'm summer's been kind of, I think everybody's been kind of just like, I mean, there's stuff going, but not really anything public or, so everybody's just kind of waiting for the fall. I just got a confirmation on the Oconee throwdown in November. So
nice.
They added an extra day, brother. They added an extra day. Just gets better and better, boy.
Better and better, bro.
Bro, it just gets better and better. So they hit me today. And all right, guys. Oh man. No, I gotta play on. It's too much fun. I get to call who I want to. Oh, come on, I'm gonna play. But I could do that
easily,
and almost make the same. Really, I'd be like, woo, but I'm not gonna do that. All right, guys, we really appreciate everybody's support. Share this show. We're gonna cut some of these Karla clips up. I think there was a lot of good stuff in there, man, that we can cut up and share and all that good stuff. So we'll see you guys next week. Y'all take it easy. Let me figure out they got this new intro and outro thing, man, but the intro you can figure out, but the outro is like, let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna end it. Let's see if it'll play. So there might not be any music, guys. I'm just gonna see if this works. This is a little different. I'm just gonna see if it will work. All right. So we're gonna sign off, and we will see you guys next week. Peace.
Peace.